So, good morning. So, suddenly, I have so many people here. So, make yourself comfortable. Sit anyway. It's comfortable to you. Okay? So, today we are going to talk about something which is called sunya. Okay? Actually, we started in Europe, I think more than 2 years ago, 3 years ago, in a camp. Then we launched in Philippines this May. Sunya is officially launched in Philippines in a May. That time we had the vacuum, this meeting. Then after that we bring it to India. And now India we become wildfire, spreading very, very much. So before we proceed further, let me explain what it means by sunya. Sunya is the Sanskrit word. It is also used in Malay, means zero. Just means zero, nothing, empty, nothing. So if this is nothing, why is there we here? You should do it yesterday. Yesterday you tried the anniversary? Yes. Something wrong with the screen when Anjing is talking. So I told them just do one thing. Go and reset the computer. Off it and on it again. Then everything is okay. You see, when you use a computer, when you use your handphone, sometimes too many informations, too many applications, so eventually the computer hangs. Or yesterday it doesn't hang, but it acted very weirdly because the memory already jammed up. Then we stop, we off the computer again, then we on it again, we restart the computer. This is a resetting. This is a resetting. So now look at your mind. Our mind is our computer. Mind is the most important thing for us. When you have the right mind, then you have the right body and the right life. When your mind is wrong, everything is wrong. But today we are not talking about how to manage your mind. We are not talking about how to liberate your mind. We are not talking about enlightenment. Today we are talking about something very simple. How to reset your mind. Make it into zero. You see, Indian invented a simple zero. Before that, no mathematics, no. Only with the interest zero, only mathematics starts. So zero is nothing, but it is very, very important. Okay, so in Sunya, we have a few principles. We have 3 sets of no. Okay, first thing is that we do not have any religious building. We don't build religious building now. Anyway, we sit down and get sunya. Okay, and today sit here, we can have sunya. Sometimes we sit open air. When you want we sit in the open air. So first, we do not have temple and we do not have religious building. Secondly, we do not have any image, drawing, symbols, anything. We use the statues. In Dharma Sutra, Buddha said, you cannot see me by image, you cannot see me by sound. But unfortunately, Buddha himself is the most sculptured person in the world. Everywhere you find Buddha's statue. You go to the yoga center, you find the gate of Buddha. And you go to the park, you can also see the Buddha there. So Buddha become outcast. People just simply put the thing. Okay? So we are not going to that now. We have no statues, nothing, no form. So in our sunya, remember, do not put a head of Buddha or do not put anything in the practice. Absolutely no statues. Because during the day of Buddha, he banned statues. But somehow after 600 years, people started to view until today become a crazy phenomenon in the world. So second principle is no statues, no image, nothing. Not only that, the image, the two types of image. One is tangible image that you can see. Another one is a teaching. If you worship any teaching, then you have a problem. Then we are extremists. Okay? So when we say image, it's including, that's why in Sunya, no teaching. You only reset your mind. Okay? We do not teach you anything. Yeah? This is the thing. So, the third thing, we do not chant mantra. Or we do not no chant mantra, and we do not say any religious chanting. No chanting, no mantra. Okay? Now, you can go to church, you can go to temple personally. We do not ban you from going to temple or church. Okay? You can worship, do anything you want to worship. You can chant mantra, can chant anything or anything. Only thing that we do not bring it to our practice. This thing. Then the second is the third, first three. No temple, no statues, no mantra. Okay? Then the second set is that we are not interfering with any belief. Any people can come and practice this sunya. Sunya is the reverse counting now. When you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it has nothing to do with any religion. When you count backward 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it also has nothing to do with the religion. So sunya, only reverse counting, nothing like that. Okay? So we do not interfere with any belief. So you can come with any belief, it's okay. You come as A, you go back as A. We do not convert you from one religion to the other religion. Okay, secondly is that we are not concerned with the food court. Every religion has their own food courts. No? For example, Muslim, you have this halal food. Jews, they have the kosher food. Hindu also, they non-beef, this thing. Then Buddhists also have the food courts. No? In Sunya, we are not worried about food court. You go and practice your own food. Okay? If you want to become vegetarian, it's very good. If you are non-vegetarian, nothing wrong. It's up to you. So we are not worried much about the way of food. Third thing is that we are not worried about ritual. So when we have a one full day meeting, during the prayer time, if the Muslim go to perform prayer, they are allowed to go and perform prayer. We are not worried about any ritual. Okay, these are the thing. So when I'm in India, some Muslim call me during Friday, they want to call for Azan. Go ahead and go for Azan. We are not worried. Okay? So we are not worried about any reason. This is the second set. So the second set is that we are not concerned with belief. We are not concerned with food thought. We are concerned with food now. We are talking about food, but not the way, the rule of food. We are not concerned with the ritual. Then the last three, we teach nothing. When you come here, you don't expect me to teach you how to open up your chakra, how to make your energy flow in your body, how to make you float in the sky. No, we don't teach you all these things. Our PhD Gigi, he spent some money to practice this meditation. It's very costly. It costs you about $500 to $1,000 a day for the meditation. He said this meditation can open up all chakra, not the energy center. Okay? So, after opening up the chakra, then you can float in the air. The meditation floating here and there. They say, I said, oh, very good. After after floating in the air, we are driving, your car running low of petrol. When you go to the petrol station, do you need to fill petrol for your car? Yes, please. Do you need to pay for petrol? Yes, please. When you're using handphone, do you need to pay for the bill? Yes, please. So when your son, your daughter go to university, do you need to pay for the university? Yes. Yes. Then what floating up here and there for what? It will not solve your problem. Just open the chakra. No need to worry about chakra. When you meditate, you open by yourself. You have seen a lot. When in India recently, there is one practitioner, we call him Sunyati, that's the one who practices Sunya. Okay. Then he see a lot of color like rainbow. He asked me what happened. Actually, when your energy is circulating inside your body, it regulates the organs. When you regulate your liver, you can see green color. When you regulate your heart, you see red color. Okay? When you regulate your kidney, you see blue color. It happens. The problem is that it does not happen all the time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens to A, sometimes it happens to B. We have 50 people, only 1 people see color, 49 people do not see color. So we don't talk about color in meditation. Okay? It happens. You don't want miracles. You have seen too many, So when someone, when they meditate, they see something in their mind, and then something happened later. 20 years ago, I am together with one of my students, Sujati. Okay? On the way back to his home, she told me that he see a friend coming to his house. He's not there, he write a note, I will see you tomorrow 9 o'clock. I told her, are you sure? I guess not hallucination. So when we reach the home, we open the mailbox, sure enough, there is a note, it's called Polygon. 9 p.m. Shall we talk about miracles? No. Because even the student, it doesn't happen every day. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. It's useless. These kind of activities do not help us in our life. Okay, these are nothing. So, when you come for the Sunya meditation, remember, we only come here to practice to reset your mind. And nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. So, we do not teach you anything. Okay? Secondly, we do not deal with your day and life. What happened to you after you say bye-bye to this world? There's nothing to Sunya. You solve this problem by your own religion. Each one have a religion. You go back to your respective religion to solve the problem of day and life. We do discuss about day and life in our Sunya practice. This is not a religious gathering. I wear kimono. Kimono is not a religious dress. Kimono is just a common dress for the Chinese, for the Japanese, sometimes Korean, sometimes Buddhist. Buddhist today they still wearing kimono. Are you correct? No. Go. So we are not dealing with day and life. Okay, we are not dealing with your salvation. I think 2 or 3 months ago, I had a Sunya session in Malaysia to talk about cancer. How to use Sunya to deal with cancer. That part we do talk. Because Sunya, sometimes we also say Sunya therapy. It involves in therapy. That is true. Because when you meditate, your body regulates. So when your body regulates, it's like therapy, there's a lot of reaction. We do discuss about the reaction. When I went to India, someone after meditate, he's a doctor. And he vomits, I told him, you have stomach problem for sure. Sure enough, he has stomach problem for many, many years. Okay, someone, after meditate, they have headache. You see, your hand do not produce any heat, you know. Why our hand is warm? Because 70 to 80% of heat is produced by the brain, by the heart, by the liver, by the organs. Organs produce the majority of the heat. So this heat through the blood is circulated throughout the whole body. So you warm your hand, you warm your legs. Sometimes when your circulation is no good, the heat is congested inside the body. Okay? Then you always feel your throat, you always feel the throat is very dry. Okay? Or your leg is cold and crampy. Sometimes a lot of frequent urination. Right? I mean, this is heat circulation problem. Those people have heat circulation problem. When they meditate, they release the heat. Where the heat going? The heat always go up. So they feel headache. So they feel sweating. That is a good sign. No need to worry. Okay? Then we do discuss. Because this is part of the therapy. Okay, this thing. Other than that, we do discuss any religious topic, you know. How to save your soul. Nothing to. So that day, we have cancer patients in here. The good majority are Christian. They are a bit worried, you know. When you meditate, can Satan go and occupy your mind? Can you be possessed by evil spirits? When you meditate, I have been teaching for the past, even before the SFA, I am an instructor in Sunya. I can assure you, nothing will happen to you. Don't need to worry about that. We are just counting, you know. The Satan doesn't come and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. It's nothing to do with us. And when you meditate, your energy becomes very, very strong. The reverse harmony we have seen. Some people, they are possessed. After they are practicing the sunya, everything goes away. The part we have seen, not the reverse. Okay? And since we are not dealing with your day and life, whatever is a belief, you can practice sunya. Nothing to do with the practice. Practice is the reverse counting. Okay? Then the last one is, you achieve nothing. You don't come here with expectation. I go to India, they ask me, Dr. Lim, are you enlightened? So when next time when you teach sunya, people ask you, are you enlightened? Are you become somebody? No. I told them I'm the mud, mud, the earth. You don't see anything for my face, for my body, for myself. But you must see the lotus. The lotus always come on a mud, The practice is the lotus, not the one who practices. In India, they want to touch my feet, they want to do all this thing to me, First thing they, I am not your guru, I am not your Baba. I am just Sunya Duta, ambassador, ambassador. Maybe I already come ambassador in Sunya. We are just ambassador. We just tell this thing to you. And our body is mud. Everywhere I go, people see how I eat. They want to study what kind of food I'm eating. When I go to the hotel like today, I go to the breakfast. It serves me eggs. I eat eggs, no? It serves me salted fish. I eat salted fish. It serves me anything, I eat anything. We don't have any choice when we're traveling. So I told members, don't look at what I eat. Look at what we promote. Spirulina, Germama is our main food. The bread, the rice, everything is a food supplement. So do look at me, do look at what I'm eating, The same thing in Sunya. Do not look at the Sunyati. Look at the teaching. So I think this is a little bit of introduction of the principle. So we have 9 principles. We go to 3 groups. Okay, let me repeat it. The first group is 3 no. No temper, no statues, no mantra. Okay. The second no is 3 nones. We are not concerned with belief. We are not concerned with food. We are not concerned with ritual. The thirdly, we teach nothing. We save no one. We achieve nothing. So this is complete sunya. Understand? Yes. So you in the Q&A time, don't ask me, Dr. Lim, are you enlightened or not? No. Nothing enlightened, nothing to do with me. If you're not interested, what we are interested is to manage the mind. That's all. And you look at the extent for the past 76 years, we apply the principle of sunya for the very first day until today. When I am in Arab, some officers say we do not like Indian because our staff are all Indian, you know, in Arabs. So he said that Christians are Malaysians, the extent staff. I told them, the extent staff, we have no Indian. We only have the extent staff. No Indian. Everyone is a staff. So we don't know. It's Bangladeshi, it's Nepali. This is not the extent, no. In the extent, we have Dhamma forum. So one day, some Dhamma say, in our community, they are full of Nepali. We doesn't like Nepali. Let them go back to Nepal. So I said that if you state that one more time, I will remove you from the extent. So whether they are Nepal or not, they come with ringgit to buy or not, they come with real money to buy or not. We don't care whether they are Nepali, they are Arab. In Malaysia, there are so many Arabs now. Full of Arabs, everywhere Arabs now. In Malaysia, you throw a stone in the king of Arab. Everywhere. Arab, 3 million of sales in Malaysia now. Wow. Each time they buy 20 million, 20,000, 30,000. Ringgit is not 1 peso. So, yesterday you say that we keep it 1,005. No, we kept hand. They got it 1,005 peso. No, 1,005 ringgit. The PV, 1,002 PV for a long stay is a Malaysian PV. Multiply 13 times, then you get peso. That's why he forgot the time zone. He looked Kuala Lumpur. So yesterday, we go for a long stay because the extent will be the first airline company to deal with the lifestyle. Everyone wants to have a good lifestyle, but we will not be able to afford it all. But let the extent go get good results. You need not go stay there from January to December. If you know that elsewhere. But we will form a common resort, okay? So that sometimes we can come and stay together. Maybe 1 week a year, maybe 1 week in every 3 months, maybe a few weeks every 3 months is okay. So, the extent, we started to establish resorts. The first resort is the Bola Valley, or the thing. Then in Malaysia, we are going to have 3 to 4 resorts. Then we have this Cyberjaya, in one of the room, that's our resort. Then it is Gua Musang, Sungai Yu. Gua Musang, we get 11,000 acres of land. So we're going to have a mega farm there. We're going to plant coffee, cacao. Then we're going to put in the resort there. Similarly, we're going to do it in Philippines, in Thailand, in Indonesia. So in the future, when you pay 7,500 ringgit for the homestay, it's inclusive of all this area. Inclusive of all this area. So basic is 30 days. 30 take 60 pack because one day can stay for 2 people, you and your wife, maybe your children can fix into one room, okay? So that we can get a good place, maybe sea plants, maybe in the forest, maybe in the hills organic farm, then we can stay together for some time and learn our life, okay? Then maybe ask the office here to convert everything to peso. After we saw, fine, nobody can have. So if I say, I give you $15 peso, this is the thing, this is. So we are going for the lifestyle. Now coming to Sunya. Sunya also is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Nowadays, every 4%, 1% is having depression. Every 4%. When I started DXN, when I started DXN 6 years ago, I still remember the statistics. Every 11%, there's 1% is depression. After 26 years, the science has improved a lot, the society has improved a lot. Are we become happier? No. We become more stressful now. Because your head full of information. Okay? Your life are loaded with information. Now the human being started to feel stressful because the information that goes to him, he cannot process it in his lifetime. What should we do? We ignore everything, zero. We stress everything. Sunya also is a way of life, even though it's not a religion. You see, when we started DXN in 1992, not 93, nothing happened to DXN for 6 months. People were asking me, how can you bear it? How can you stand it? How can you restart everything? We bear nothing, Because with Sunya, every time we reset, every time we start anew. Yesterday, this morning, I met Jimmy Kidding again, this today. So we thinking about 20 years ago. And he still remembers the advice I gave to him. The very famous advice. Nothing is working in Philippines. I asked him to go back, have a hot shower, take a good rest, come back to Philippines, to do everything all over again. That is how we started again. He started. So Sunya gives you a chance to reset your life every time when you face problem. Okay, so it is a good technique. It is just a technique, nothing more than that. Okay, don't associate anything mystical, don't associate anything religious with it. Okay, I think I should not keep on talking. If I keep on talking, someone will go to the toilet and never come back. So actually, it's not too good. You sit down to meditate, You see, let's talk about mind. It's very difficult to train your mind. Mind is difficult to train. You gotta see, you gotta feel the mind. But mind and body can be separated. Okay, so when you train the body, then you can train your mind. For example, during meditation, you try not to move your body. You know why? When you are thinking, your body are always moving. When a person is sleeping, when he is in a dreamy state, how do you know? With the eye moving, the eye. So when you think of the left, your eye go to the right. No way. You try and see. You think of the left and your eyes go to the right. No way. You always go to the left. You think of the right, you go to the right. Kanan, right, yeah. That's what I know. Kanan. Think of the right, then you go to the right. This I don't know. We don't know TV. Okay. So one way to train your mind is sit still. still, not moving your body, then your mind will come down. So during meditation, before meditation, you rub your face, rub your body. After that, when your face feels itchy, your nose is don't touch face. Don't do and do this. No. Do this before meditation. Rub your face, this okay. Before meditation, but after that, okay, you know. But before to train the mind, three stages, no? Train your body, train your breathing, train your mind. Body, breathing, and mind, the three steps. Okay, so before meditation, normally we do some simple exercise to train the body. Then after that we sit up. Okay, we observe the breathing. Then your mind will be trained. Okay, now you sit for some time now. You are going to stand up. But before you stand up, you pull out your leg. No need to rub your leg, no. You just touch your leg softly. Touching softly. The pain and numb will go away. Okay, softly. After some time you change your leg. Softly. Those people have difficulty of standing up. And then they think this is going to be. I said the only one. Okay, now stand up. But today my kidney not very full, not very strong. Today I will teach you one very important exercise. You try to put your hand, do not touch someone in front and touch your body. The side, okay, start with in front. Okay. Now, every brain know that walking is a good exercise, right? Yes. But one more exercise is even better than walking. This is hand swimming. Swing your hand. Okay? Now, how to swing your hand? You just raise it, then swing it. You imagine your no hand. Okay? Raise it. Don't raise higher than your nose. Raise it, swing it, raise it, swing it. Now, when you stand, don't stand straight. Stand half squat. Standing half squat, the knee is reflected to the kidney. So when you stand half squat, it will strengthen your kidney. Oh, the second. This one. Free of charge. When you squat, you call it 3%, 30%. You should not, your knee should not over the toes. You should see your toe. Yeah. Okay? When you squat more than the toe, your body not stable anymore. Half squat. Okay? When you half squat, your body will straight away become straight. Okay? Then you raise your hand. Okay? Drop it quickly. Raise your hand. When you raise your hand, don't stop along. Some people, they sit there, look back and run. Don't stop. When you raise, immediately you drop. Then swing 100 times. Okay? Ready? Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Okay, swing slowly and slowly. Do stop straight away. Let's stand up. Stand up. And you feel like your kidney is very strong now. Yeah. Now, listen to me. Hand swimming is very simple. You don't need to run, you need to go any place, you it's very fast when you wake up, okay, you do this exercise. This exercise is even better than walking. Maybe I should start with some SD and SP. Yeah. It's very important because you can do it anywhere. You can do it in the place you're working, any place, and swim maybe 30 times, 50 times, 100 times, or no need to count. Many cancer patients, they just cure the cancer by swimming. I've seen a lot, these are the things. So this is a very important exercise to circulate your circulation. Hand swimming, they saw that it's a second heart pump. It helps to circulate and reduce your heart problem. So those who are suffering from heart problem, this exercise is also very good. Actually, this exercise strengthens all your 5 organs. Strengthen all your 5 organs. Okay, it's very good. Okay, try to do it. And normally we do this before we sleep. Then the second exercise. Now, second exercise is the beginning of Tai Chi. Only one step. Raise your hand, breathe in, and put down your hand slowly, breathe out. Okay? This exercise is also very important. I remember before I studied in Europe, in India, very far from Europe, in India. Today, that's so the same, so we keep on going to Europe. Yeah. He said that I have no time to teach you Tai Chi. Okay? But he said in the Tai Chi practice, there is the last step which is very, very important. Okay? To practice. So by practice this stage, your energy level can go very, very, very high. This thing, and it did wow. Before they practice this, they say, I will teach it to you. You don't need to take any wow. Okay, so next time you're free to teach anybody. These are the thing. What he teach me is this hand rising. Now, this hand rising, Tai Chi is not sunya. I tell you what Tai Chi they do. When they raise their hand, they use reverse breathing. You know reverse breathing? When you breathe in, actually you pull your stomach, pull it in. When you breathe in, you pull it in, okay? Then you pull your anal, like you're going to the toilet, you know? Yeah, pulling it, okay? When you breathe in. So when you breathe out, then the thing is going out naturally. Now, today, do not practice this. This is an extra information to you. Buy one, give one, free. Okay? You can practice the sign if you want. But today, just natural breathing. Okay? But this is the most important step in any Qigong practice. By practice this system alone, your energy level can go very, very, very high. According to my Tai Chi master. Okay, this is a thing. And very easy, just standing. Okay, follow me. Half squat. Then your hand, like holding a big ball. Now, your hand should be a curve, no? Not like this. Okay, not at the edge, huh? Not straight. Not straight like this. Not at the edge like this. It is a round shape. You're like holding a big what? You're holding a big ball, a big ball. Yeah, I see. Your hands not too high. Too high, you feel that full, not too low. I think about 30 degrees maybe from your this thing. Go like this. Okay? Your hand always shining your body, you know. Like a sun. Okay? Then you raise it up. When raised to the top, use your hand to shine your head, stop for a while, then breathe out, putting it down slowly. Putting it down slowly. You do it like you have no hand. Relax your hand. Then you pull it up. Breathe in. You pull it down, breathe out. Okay, we try to do natural breathing. Okay, breathe in. 1. Out. Slowly, not too fast. Breathe in. 2. Breathe out. Slowly. Breathe in. 3. Coming down. When I count, you put down your hand. Breathe in. 4. Breathe in. You can open your eye or you close your eye. 5. Breathe in. Look down, look in front. 6. Breathe in. 7. Breathe in. 8. Slowly, come down slowly. Breathe in. 9. Breathe in. 10. Breathe in. 11. Breathe in. 12. Breathe in. 13. Breathe in. 14. Breathe in. 15. Breathe in. 16. Breathe in. 17. Breathe in. 18. Breathe in. 19. Breathe in. 20. Breathe in. 21. Breathe in. 22. Breathe in. 23. Breathe in. 24. Breathe in. 35. Breathe in. 36. Breathe in. 37. Breathe in. 38. Breathe in. 39. Okay, breathe in. 30. Look here carefully and look here carefully. Put down your hand and open it up like this. Then make a swing back to your stomach. Do not touch the stomach. Put down your hand again. Swing second time. Put down again. Swing third time. So when you practice, there is a lot of energy in your body. Okay, we need to pull the energy in and out. Okay, so that it will not disperse out. So this one is very important step. Okay, before you stop this Qigong practice. Okay, now, just now the first one, the hand swinging, the raise the thing. Actually, it's nothing to do with sunya. It's to practice the body. Okay, so you can practice Tai Chi. You can practice yoga, you can practice this Malay, what do you call, this Senama Melayu, you can do Malay exercise, or the Filipino, the martial art exercise, you can do that, okay? That is to practice to stress the body. Now we go for standing meditation. Standing meditation is what? When you sit, when you stand, when you walk, you can when you sleep, you can do meditations. But only thing now today I'm going to teach you standing. Standing is very important. You know why? When we gather in a park, sometimes the ground is a bit wet. You cannot sit on the ground. They do standing meditations. And standing meditations is good that we do outside. When the wind is not so strong, you need to count body, you know. Count your body well when you do standing. Because when we do meditation, the pores are open up. So when the wind blows directly on you, it's not very good. Okay, so you need to cover yourself with the soul, cover yourself with jacket when you do outside. Okay, now when we do standing meditation, okay, our body normally will exchange the energy with the plant. Those who are very high in meditations, they can feel the exchange. Believe it or not. Now you just believe me. You can exchange the energy with the plant, okay? They have bad energy with our good energy. Just like carbon dioxide, this oxygen during the photosynthesis is a byproduct for the plant, but we need the oxygen. So carbon dioxide is a byproduct of our metabolism, but is needed by the plant. So we and the plant are complementary in energy. That's why some people have this jungle walk. You walk jungle in the morning, this thing, after that you feel good. Why you feel good? You have to exchange energy with them. So standing meditation is very famous for exchanging with the plants. Okay, this is some meditator that they pass down their experience to us. Okay, this is not exactly part of the Sunya practice, but since it is simple, since it is good for us, we can practice. Okay, it's the same thing. Half squat. At the sound, you're holding your hand like this. Then do the reverse counting. Count 9 to 0 or 29 to 0. So maybe we count 30 count, 29 to 0. Okay, relax yourself. I only count the first count, okay? Then the rest yourself. Beginning 29. One breath, one count. 28, Okay, slowly put down your hand. Like this one, open it, then pull it back one time. Put down your hand, pull it back second time. Put down your hand, pull it back. Okay, now you can stand up. Swing your hand a little bit, and take it down. So, now we have the hand swinging exercise. We have this standing meditation. Okay, these two we call preparatory step before sit down. Okay, of course these two steps are optional. It's good that you do this thing before you meditate, but if you have no time, you can skip these two steps. Okay, now ready for the real show? Yeah. Okay, sit down. So, anybody feel that you're floating up to the wind? To this thing? Yeah. Before you sit up, it's good to stretch your body for a while. Stretch your body. We do 3 simple settings. First, you hold your knee, then your body bend down for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come out again. 3 times. Bend down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up again. Bend down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up again. Okay. The next step is that put your hand, you put on the left knee. Put left knee. Then you use your right shoulder to touch your right knee. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And step away. Smile. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smile. Come again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the hand. Okay. Go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes some people find that it's easy for them to bend in one direction, but it's not easy to bend on the other direction, even our body are not balanced. When you cannot bend on your left side, the heart is not very strong. When you cannot bend on the right side, what you call the liver is not very strong. When you cannot bend down, your stomach is not too good. So listen, next time I should touch your SBE. It's very good. No, this bending is very important. When it's bending, when you bend, you squeeze your stomach. We always say that the lung is the water tank, right? When you drink the water, okay, all the water is stored inside the lung. I asked many members now, when you drink the water, after that where the water go? Does it go into the blood? No, it go to the blood. It go to the blood. Think now that you're fainted, you know. It do not go to the blood. It go to the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system will push the water into the lung. So your lung store the water, then slowly release. Okay? Go into the blood system, slowly circulate the alright. So lungs are water. Then, okay. Some people, during the meditation, you know, the tears come down because the lungs are congested with water. some people they come out without flying. Okay, lung, animal, for instance. Where is your blood tank? Now you store the water inside your lung, your body to store extra blood now. Where is the storage space for the blood? The abdomen, here. Here, full of blood vessels, small vessel, big vessel, from the biggest to the small, all are here. So many blood are actually stored inside the abdomen. So when you squeeze the abdomen, you squeeze the blood to your brain and to your lung. So in a sense that you force the blood to circulate when squeeze. So in yoga, you always squeeze your body. Squeeze here and there. Okay? To force the stomach to squeeze the blood really. The same thing, why cosplay? When we cosplay, the circulation to the leg becomes poor. Then where the blood go to the brain, go to the lung. So it's a sit up also very important. Okay. So there are some reasons behind that. Okay. In Sunya, we don't talk about spirituality, because we leave the spirituality to your religion. You go back and talk with the pastor, talk with the monk. You talk with me, okay? We don't talk about health. We have to do with our body, and we are expert in that. Very expert, okay? You need only one day to learn about Sunya, but it takes you maybe one to learn about the reaction. So it's better to come to the Sunya session very, very often. Okay, now we cross the leg. Yeah, various way you can like this cross the leg. Sometimes you can pull out one leg, to the other, like this. This is what I call half lotus. Some people they pull the leg, full lotus. The more you pull the leg, the more you restrict the blood circulation in your leg. But for me, I think better I cross like this. Many people else can cross like that. Now, when you sit, listen carefully. When you sit, there are two types of sitting. One is sit without cushion. Right now, when you sit without cushion, you cannot put your hand like Buddha or like this. No, go like this, your body is not stable. So you sit without cushion, put your hand on the knee. Put it on the knee. Okay, then you can close your hand, you can put it into the ring or whatever it is, you're okay. Or we can put it, okay, near to the stomach, but not too near. When too near, your body becomes not stable. Okay? But when you sit with the cushion, like this, yeah, you do me. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. When you sit with the cushion, you see immediately the body becomes straight. Okay, then I don't need to put it, then I can put the hand like this. We sit with the cushion. So there are two sitting. Sit without cushion and sit with cushion. Sit without cushion, you can put your hand on the knee. But it's better to sit without cushion actually. In a proper training, when you go for a 3-day retreat, you can go for 7-day retreat, each one will be one cushion. So when you sit with a cushion, first thing first, it's very easy for you to sit, Secondly, it's also easy for you to cross your leg with this sort of thing. Then spinal cord automatically straight. So when I sit with a cushion, you can see that I become taller. Because I sit more straight. Now I have to return this to Buddhism. Carefully. Yeah. Now we sit like this, Okay, you already big exercise. So now you go for the reverse counting. The reverse counting, we count from backward, 9 to 0, the basic count. Or 29 to 0, the 30 count. Or 99 to 0. Okay? Some people count 10 to 1, same thing, 30 to 1. 100 to 1. This is also a test of your mental state. In general topic, someone come to us, sometimes we find that their mind are not very stable. How can we test their mind? First, we ask them to reverse counting 10 to 1. Believe me or not, some people cannot complete 10 to 1. Halfway they go for, their mind go for worship, you know. They go to Jupiter and they all come back. They forgot to count. These are the people with a very serious mental problem. Serious. We have seen a lot. Do not laugh. There are some people who cannot complete 10 to 1. They are in a very, very bad state. Okay. Now, out of 5 people, nowadays, 1 people, they cannot complete 30 to 1 or 29 to 0. If you cannot complete 29 to 0, it means you are depressive. You are suffering from depression. Very simple. What to do now? Keep on practice counting until you can count. Then your depression is over. So this is very simple. And to treat also very simple. Okay? So maybe we start 9 to 1. 9 to 1 I count for you. Some of you already practice for a long time, but some of you still new to the system. You practice more. Now, you can close your eye. You can open your eye and look in front. Never roll up your eye. Some idiot makes some statues, no? Without throwing out. Don't do that. When you roll your eyes, you'll pass out. You'll be fatal, you know. It's very risky for your wife. Don't do that. Never do that. That's why no statues, no. All these stupid statues, we do not need that, no. Okay, you look front. You look 45 degrees down, and you can look at something, you know, in front of you. Don't move your eye. If you don't move your eye, you do not move your mind. If your mind cannot focus left and right, it means your mind are agitated. So now we use this reverse counting. Reverse counting is something neutral. So we are using a neutral mind to replace the agitated mind. So with reverse counting, you practice maybe for a few days, a few weeks, you will get peace of mind that we are very, very sure. Okay? That is how we regulate the. So when you reverse counting, do not control your breathing. Some people, they try to pull your breathing. No, something. Don't pull your breathing. Breathe naturally. Okay? And use natural breathing. No need diaphragm breathing. Some people, they want to pull, they breathe in, then the stomach come up. Do now for this diaphragm breathing. It will come naturally. No need to force yourself. Okay? Now we practice 10 to 1. Get ready? Breathe in. 10. Oh, 9. Stop 9. Breathe in. Out. 8. Breathe in. 7. Breathe in. 6. Breathe in. 5. Breathe in.